Oh, he's got the tracker on your face. I don't know why. That's weird. What's up, Throttlers? Aristotle Full Throttle here. And today was the day that Rogue One came out. So we're going to have a very special and enthusiastic live review featuring Uncle Poulos here at the end.
How you doing?
Corn Dog. And Nate, the guy who loves the movie Jaws.
I thought we were going to a Jaws revival. I don't really understand what happened.
But here we are. So, first of all, we just saw Rogue One, Star Wars story. It's the first spin-off in the Star Wars universe. Live-action, theatrical release. So we're not going to count the Clone Wars movie because that was an animated theatrical release that's counted as canon.
But let's be honest, this is really what Episode 3 should have been.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Rogue One is a prequel. It's definitely
Episode
a prequel.
3.5.
I think Rogue One is the crawl before A New Hope entirely.
It is.
It really is.
Well, isn't it?
It's kind of an extrapolation of that.
Like the first paragraph of the crawl.
Exactly.
How much spoiler are we allowed to give here?
This is
All of it.
It's a
All of it.
spoiler
Good.
review.
Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's
The
dad.
thumbnail said spoiler.
Yeah.
I
It
always-
says spoiler a lot, so I wanted to make sure that this is a spoiler review,
The
folks.
spoiler.
If you're watching this now and you don't want to know what happens, turn back.
Turn it
watch-
off.
Yeah,
Everybody dies.
There's some bad things that happen to all the people you like.
Yeah, let's just start
And
out.
some you
All of
don't.
them.
I always thought that the prequels, the 1, 2, and 3s, were gonna have more of what this ended up having.
Mm-hmm.
So that was ultimately disappointing back
Darth
in the day.
Vader fucking shit up.
Yeah.
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 Am I allowed to say
There
the
was
F word?
no
Yeah, you
Darth
can.
I'm
Vader.
sorry.
was
I
kinda
swear
bad.
a lot,
Shut up.
YouTube. Sorry, Mom.
And to be honest, there still wasn't enough of it here,
Yeah.
save for the last
But
5 minutes.
that-
That got me very giddy.
That last 30 seconds, though, of him like walking down the hallway with like the lightsaber lighting the entire room, just killing everybody. That was everything I've ever wanted to see in a Star Wars
That
film.
was truly Darth Vader at his peak.
When do we get the Darth
He
Vader
looked like
spinoff?
he was in good shape too.
You know there's
got to
be one coming.
I
Oh,
wonder
nice.
if they're going to do a Darth Vader spin
What happens to Darth Vader after the incident at the Death Star at the end of Episode 4, where he just like kind of like goes off into space? Like, are we gonna get that film? Like how he?
No. I still
Gets the
want to
TIE
see
fighter back to the
something
Empire?
that takes place before Rogue One, where Darth Vader is dispatching of all the Jedi in the world or the universe.
Well, yeah. Well, that was Episode 3, no?
No, it never happened.
Yeah.
It was about to happen.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of just want to see Darth getting a feel for the new suit. You know.
Yeah, it's like I don't take
It
this
was,
out for
you
a
know,
test
you know,
drive.
all we got in Episode 3 was just a really bad like, "Arr," and then you know in this one he's kind of kicking ass. Where was the in between?
There's no
you know,
in between.
yeah,
There's
there's
still
no
no
in
in between.
They
Still no
do
in
show the
between.
younglings and him igniting his lightsaber, but they don't.
But he's not in the suit there. I want to see Darth Vader
That's true.
reenact the opening of Terminator 2, where it's like Schwarzenegger in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I need your keys, your clothes,
And your lightsaber.
and your lightsaber, please.
Our first the reveal of Darth in this though, not for the first time ever, not in the traditional black suit.
Right.
How awesome was that?
That was cool.
pretty
I like that.
That was pretty
That was
cool.
very
This
cool.
is now, if you're wondering who was in the back to tank in the trailers, turns out it was Anakin Skywalker, better known as Darth Vader, and that was his first intro. And he had the Imperial guards,
Yeah.
right next to the back to tank. And I was wondering, and yeah, that was pretty interesting. What did you you thought that was pretty cool? What did you
I
think?
thoroughly enjoyed it.
I liked anything in this movie where Darth Vader was present.
How about you?
My first thought was the first time you see Darth Vader in Rogue One, as far as like him being in the tank, reminded me a lot of Luke in the tank in
Yeah.
Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It does mirror that for sure.
I thought of it more, kind of like, and maybe it was throwing back to Empire, when Vader is being revealed in the chamber,
Yeah,
and he
I thought
doesn't
of
have
that
his
too.
helmet on, and you kind of almost see like the shadow of that same kind of
Right. Yeah.
clam shell opening.
It did
when
have
it
that feeling.
opens.
Speaking of shadows, like the giant like Vader shadow that was revealed on the wall has been.
Oh yeah, you thought it was gonna be a lot smaller than it was. Then
And
it
he's
was the
like,
whole damn
no,
wall.
it's Vader.
One last thing about that tank. It was really interesting to see Vader revealed in light for the first time rather than darkness. I don't know
Oh,
what
that's cool. Yeah.
the meaning behind any of that is, because he's a very, very dark character. However, we meet him in this movie bathed in light, which I thought was very.
That is an interesting
Very
approach.
peculiar.
Yeah, there's directorially, I don't know. Gareth Edwards, he did Godzilla. Did you guys see Godzilla?
Yes.
The recent one?
The
or
recent one,
yeah.
most recent.
Brian
Godzilla.
Cranston or the one that just came
Brian
out?
Cranston.
Yeah.
I saw the Cranston.
And the
one.
guy who's kick-ass, and he's also
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, yeah. He's also
One of the Quicksilver.
The guy
also
does that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I think it was a decent
Congratulations.
effort.
In the Avengers series, not the X-Men series.
Correct.
Yeah.
The X-Men Quicksilver is actually better.
He is better.
Because he
I dig him.
does cool shit to cool tunes.
He puts time in a bottle.
He does.
Dude, what did you think? Did you guys see the latest X-Men movie?
Yes.
I did not.
I did.
I felt like they built it around a Quicksilver sequence.
They did, because instead of Time in the Bottle, this time you had like Sweet Dreams,
Yeah.
the Eurythmics, which was awesome. It was a really cool sequence, but it was like after that, I was just like, okay, well, now I'm just back to watching it next.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really cool for like 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Not so cool.
They put all their eggs in the Quicksilver basket for that
Yeah.
one. But this one, getting back to Rogue One, what do you think about No Crawl? It opens up No Crawl.
I didn't like
I
it.
accept the no crawl for the standalone
Nope.
films.
Nope, I was
I didn't
not,
like it.
was not
I didn't
happy
like
about
it. No.
What-
And I
What would
kinda
the
get
crawl say? Like
Doesn't matter. Darth got
Shit happened in
used to-
episode
wait,
3.
Wait. Darth got used to his suit. Open scene.
it. Right. It doesn't matter.
the Empire has taken full control of the galaxy.
But it doesn't matter what the crawl says. We expect the crawl
Yeah.
as Star Wars fans, and I understand that they want to separate this thing from that trilogy, quadrilogy,
it's the
sextilogy
universe.
of whatever 9 movies
there's
it's
like
going to be.
there's
This is
the
the first
episodes and there's the standalones.
But and I wanted to accept that. But by the time it got to the end, it was so seamlessly put right into the
have been an
everything
episode.
that it shouldn't have been so disconnected or trying to portray it being disconnected because it ultimately became incredibly connected.
Yeah. Ultimately, it just
I mean,
ends up
almost
where episode 4
right
starts
through.
up. Yeah.
Which leads me to another criticism, maybe,
Okay.
in that we see Leia at the end. She gets the plans, and it's like full circle. We're at the beginning of episode 4.
Right.
The only thing missing is her like leaning down and putting it into R2D2.
Yeah, I wanted
like
to
the
see.
next
I
step.
wanted
That
to see
should
it
be
in R2.
that should have been the
So you
like,
wanted
the
overlap.
actual end.
You wanted-
it got
I know.
so close to overlapping.
Yeah.
That why
See,
not just go that?
My
extra
criticism of the end would have been, like, the doors open, you see the back of Leia, like you know it's Leia. Cut it there.
I might have even
Don't
been okay
turn
with that.
around and get like the CG,
That would've
like
been fine.
Leia 30 years younger.
And I gotta say, the CG
Oh,
Leia
lightsaber.
was way better than the CG Tarkin.
Really? Because I thought
Oh,
Grand Moff
man.
Tarkin was way better than
Tarkin was
CG
so
Leia.
like
Tarkin was great.
distracting.
Right.
By the way,
Yeah,
Grand Moff
Tarkin
Tarkin
was
is
great.
back.
So
He's
distracting.
cool as
really
shit.
creepy.
They revived Peter Cushing.
It was definitely
Yeah,
creepy.
creepy.
yeah, he was
It was
Governor
definitely
Tarkin.
creepy.
I mean, he could have been a Gears of War 4 character, but
Right. I honestly like
CGI rendering and all.
throughout the movie though, I did really feel that it was kind of like a cutscene to a fan fiction like video game. A lot of this movie, just in general, and the Peter Cushing thing, I think, sort of hammered that home a little bit because it was a little bit distracting, but it was cool to see him.
It was
back on the screen.
cool,
It's
but
cool
at
to
the
see
same
Peter
time, I just don't think the CGI is good enough
It's
to
not there
really
yet.
pull it off because
Yeah,
it was
all right.
still it felt like a
it does
video
make
game.
it stand out. Yeah.
It felt like a video game.
Yeah.
And Leia, as short as it was, I thought seemed more human,
I love
more
how,
lifelike.
I love how that is the piece that makes Star Wars feel like a video game. Right? You just watched big spaceships shoot lasers and shit, and you went, her face made me think this was a video
No,
game.
his face
Really?
did, but
Okay.
her face sold me.
Yeah. Good point there. There's a lot of nice visual callbacks though, because it's not Star Wars unless you're sort of doing a trench run with X-wings. It's not
Right.
Star Wars unless there's a huge cavernous fall below you.
Yep.
It's not
Yes.
Star Wars, and it's very Obi-Wan Kenobi, like resetting the shield generator.
Who was referenced?
Yes, he
Right.
was referenced by Bail Organa,
Right.
actually. But when Jyn Erso is climbing up to get the plans,
Right?
it's very Obi-Wan Kenobi with the
tractor beam?
Yeah,
Sure.
tractor beam. Yeah, exactly.
When you call this fan fiction, do you think that every Star Wars not spin-off, nothing that's in the direct line of episodes 1 through the apparent 9, right? But is every other piece going to be fan fiction to you?
A little bit. Here's why. Because I think Star Wars Episode 4 really set up this entire world. It really feels like a fully realized world. And The Empire Strikes Back takes that to the next level. It really expands it. And since then, I think every Star Wars movie is either sort of just borrowing bits, like cherry picking bits and pieces from that, and including this one, I think, because they have sort of the AT-AT walkers from Empire and the two-legged ones from
Who are
Jedi.
badass on the beach.
It's pretty cool.
Ooh.
It's pretty rad to see them on the beach. All of that fighting stuff, all of the war stuff was fantastic, phenomenal. But I just think it's just the original trilogy did a really good job of just upping the game each time and introducing a lot of new ideas. And I think this is more playing in the sandbox of ideas.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the prequels, Episode 7, this movie, really just a lot of callback.
Yeah.
And even too much callback. Like, some of it's kind of cute, like, yay, but it almost feels like it's a whole movie that they put together with the purpose of throwing in a bunch of callbacks.
Yeah, because they own the property now, and they literally own. There's like a delineation of every character, every vehicle. So now they're just sort of taking it.
I did appreciate that they did in this movie introduce a few interesting characters, and even like you just see like one cut of some new creature, which kind of reminded me of like the original trilogy, where you just see some random creature and like there's a figure. I've got a hammerhead, and Hammerhead was like, he never even had a line.
Right.
He was just like one frame of a cut.
Yeah, exactly. That
there was
Watch
like,
where you're going.
yeah,
I don't even
that
know
was
who
exactly. I was going to point that out too.
that guy. No, see that.
My
that
friend
was,
doesn't like you.
that was the callback.
I don't
that
like
kinda
you
bothered
either.
me.
Yeah. It's like in the entire galaxy, they're gonna run into those guys again? Really? But I mean, it's not to say I didn't like it though. I think it's fun, and I think there's enjoyment to be had. There's a lot
What
of
about the
fun.
responsibility that these guys have to sort of set the stage for every other non-linear
It's a tough-
Star Wars movie?
It's
You
a
think
tough
they did a good
job. It's a tough job.
I think they did a good job.
Pretty good job.
Yeah.
I think I mean, other than the fact that, like when Episode 7 came out, it's like the fact that it's a new episode, and you got the crawl, and you got the John Williams score, and all this epic stuff. You got Han Solo, all the original characters. You got, Luke Skywalker at the end. But like, I almost felt like this felt like more of like an original Star Wars movie.
Right.
Like the new Stormtrooper design that Abrams came up with was epic, but seeing like the original Stormtroopers, like that just made me feel good inside. I was just
Yeah.
like, yes, this
That
is
was
the
nice.
shit I fell in love with as a kid.
I like
yeah,
taking
exactly.
it
And I'm getting
all
to
the
see
way
it
back
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
to the beginning.
Light up buttons as opposed to like touchscreen stuff. Like
All the stuff in the Death Star
Yeah.
was kind of cool.
Right.
It was like all very retro,
It did,
but still didn't feel old.
And I think you got to take your hat off to the director too for that, because stylistically, like the way it flowed, the way it, the cuts from one scene to another, and even the swelling orchestrations behind everything, not very in keeping with present genres or whatnot. I think this was very in keeping to like the original 3, the way it was put together. It felt like that style movie. It didn't feel like Abrams' Star Wars. It didn't feel like a new Star Wars movie.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I thought the orchestration was interesting. That the
music?
the theme seemed sort of close
Yeah.
to the Star Wars
All-
well,
music.
to be fair to Michael Giacchino. Is that his name?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's Michael Giacchino.
Antonio.
I was like, am I saying Corey's last name?
Antonio, that's
No,
me.
Michael
Yeah.
Giacchino. Damn it.
I have no idea.
Whatever.
Okay.
Michael, dude.
Michael, dude.
He was brought in last minute because Alexandra Desplat.
Desplat, yeah.
Was supposed to do the music, and then because of like the reshoots and everything that they did, and they kept getting pushed back, he had scheduling conflicts, had to drop
Yeah.
out, so they brought Giacchino in the last minute, and I felt like for like having 4 weeks to do everything. Like, he did a pretty
Really?
good job.
He
Or
did
it was
a
a very
pretty-
minimal period of
I
time.
never said
Yeah.
he did a
Exactly
bad
4
job.
weeks, but
I said it was interesting.
I think
It was interesting that again, the disconnect, trying to make us realize that this isn't part of that.
Yeah.
So the music's sort of like the original, but
Yeah,
not
like
quite there.
All
And
of the melodies
seemed
are off by like
it
one
seemed
note.
very,
Right. Yeah.
very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically tangential. Like it's a melody that ran alongside.
No, like
the
they
original
did it
melody,
on
but
purpose. They
And then when you
purposely-
hear the original, you're like, yes,
Oh,
and you
yeah,
stood
it's
a little
so
bit more
close.
forward
Exactly.
in your seat. And you're like,
Exactly.
it's almost
So when
there.
Darth
It's
Vader,
almost there.
So when Darth Vader appears, it goes into the exact Imperial March from
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Every one of those older movies, like every one of those characters has their own theme, right? So like The Godfather, Michael has a theme,
Yeah.
Kate has a theme, Darth Vader has a theme, Luke and Leia have their own theme, Han and Leia have their own theme. Darth gets his own theme. This cast of characters gets their own theme. This storyline gets its own theme now. However, like it's still part of the Star Wars universe, and the Star Wars universe has one theme to me, and I don't like that I didn't get it.
We didn't get
Right
it
at
in
the
the
top,
very
and I
at the
want it
beginning.
right
You
at the
needed that.
beginning. That's the way it's
Right.
supposed to start. Star Wars movies supposed to start
Yeah.
that way.
I was interesting that
Yeah.
I found it interesting that they had a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but
And
then
that was
it
it.
just
Yeah, and then they left
like
us hanging.
blue balls you right at that moment.
Well, I mean,
with you.
And then
the
I
thing-
almost got the feeling that it was going to be the lead-in to it,
Yeah.
and then it kind of was, but then they
You
didn't
usually
follow
have the-
through.
What's interesting
Rogue
is
One.
that what if it could very well be a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. What did when we first saw those words? What followed? Everything that we just saw on screen tonight.
Right.
So like, was it?
The movie
were
is
they
the
being
crawl.
were they being clever? Were they being clever and just saying a
don't
long
know.
time ago in a galaxy far, far away? And here's your
Here's
crawl.
the scroll.
And
It's just I feel
Stretched out
like
over
if
2
you're not
hours.
going to do the crawl, like it's almost why not do something?
Give me another crawl.
completely different, or and now for something completely different, something that is you just go for it, swing for the fences. I just think that
Choose a
they
different
just did a
font.
cold open basically. Yeah, and then they showed the title, which I didn't think. It didn't hit me as much. It just
No.
sort of like faded out.
Definitely doesn't have the impact.
it was a throw. It was a
Yeah.
throwaway. It was just a, it was
Yeah.
a,
It
one-
was-
it was
it
a
was-
quick cut and like gone.
It was a reason or a way to get us from the little youngster girl to our
Yeah.
hero that's going
Right.
to take place for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it was a
Device to show the
time
passage
jump.
of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, acting. Anything
Yeah.
stand out?
I didn't have any problems with the acting.
I
What
think
did-
Felicity Jones is great.
Oh my god.
Forrest
Felicity
Whitaker?
I
Jones.
think she's fantastic.
What did you think of
I,
that?
Oh,
Forrest
Forrest
Whitaker's
Whitaker.
character
love him.
confused me.
Saw Gerrera?
Like, who was he and why was he there? What was the
Why didn't he
purpose
would
of
be like,
any of
okay, I'm
that?
gonna go escape with you guys and fight the Empire? He's like, no, I will not run anymore. I will stay here and die. Like,
Well,
Like
he had
he
metal
showed
legs,
up at the
so
beginning
fair.
as somebody.
so the Terminator.
His tank was so heavy.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was gonna be such an important part
Right.
of something.
Anybody notice that his
and
mask
nothing.
also was on like one of those like vacuum?
Yeah.
Like you can pull the cord in the vacuum and just
You
like sort of
remind me
legs
of what's his face from Fury Road.
From Mad Max.
Oh,
Mad
yeah,
Max.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
a
From
little
Tom
bit.
Hardy.
No,
the bad
Oh,
guy?
the other
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
what was his name?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, that's,
Brian Cox, the actor.
Yeah,
I'll find it in a second. If you know out there, let us know
Let
in
us know.
the chat room. Let's see. Mad Max. Immortan
Morton Joe.
Immortan Joe.
Balls.
Joe Morton.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of Terminator,
Joe Moore.
Joe Morton.
Yeah.
Doctor
Joe Morton
There you
is
go.
Doctor
Miles Bennett
Silvers. Wait, no.
Dyson. Miles Bennett Dyson.
I
Yeah.
was wrong. Balls.
and for all you Scandal fans out there,
Well, it turns
Fair
out
enough.
Saw Gerrera is actually a carryover character from Star Wars, the Clone Wars series, I think.
Okay.
The animated series. He's actually he's an existing character. So I don't know if that had to do with the reshoots, if they just sort of assigned him that role, like
Okay.
after the fact, and they were like, maybe he should be or they decided that when they wrote the script. So that's
It seemed
kinda
like an
cool.
unnecessary character. He didn't
Mhm.
have any
He raised Jyn
point being
Erso.
in the not
Also-
in the movie.
Yeah.
He didn't. We saw
true.
we
We
saw,
saw him
him
rescue her.
maybe
Yep.
rescue her.
And then he's like-
because
You're not wrong.
he's like, I'm rescuing you, but the next second later,
He's leaving
she's
her.
captured.
She's alone.
And like,
He's
why
not
is
very
she
good.
captured?
And then like there's like the whole scene where like they see each other for the first time again, and he's just like, "Are we not still friends?" And she's like, "You
Yeah,
left
and
me.
I'm like,
you
yeah.
fucking left me, dude."
I'm like,
no
who is
story
this
to
guy?
it.
Why would he
You
like
be
clearly
your
have
friend?
daddy
What's going on
issues,
here?
and you left me.
And the fact that he had that mask made me think that are they gonna suddenly make
Yeah.
Darth Vader into a black man? Is that what's going on here?
See, I thought they were going
Like,
to
would
bring
be
some
aw-
interesting
like how is
parallel.
this gonna
yeah.
make? How is this meshing with Darth Vader?
Yeah. I think they were just trying to bring some sort of allusion, some callback,
It was
some
weird.
thematic
It
connection
was just
between
weird.
Between him and Darth? Between
just
him
the
and
breathing thing.
What?
It was just like,
I mean, you can't help but put it together, but I don't see what purpose that serves.
Exactly.
At
yeah,
all.
it doesn't really. I
My
agree.
only issue with the
I
whole
agree.
thing
I feel
was
like it
just
confuses things.
It was confusing.
yeah, it was confusing, but like the whole again, just the fact that he was just like, "I can't go on anymore. I no longer serve your story.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and die." I'm like, "No, you're a big fighter. Like, go, like, live to fight another day."
Right. He's
Well,
set
but
up
the
to
theme-
be like sort of
like an Obi-Wan character.
rebellion guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently the theme of the movie was everybody dies.
Which I would love. I love the fact that everyone died.
Yeah.
I also
I-
did.
I was perking.
Spoiler
I
alert.
literally started
Ain't
perking
gonna be no
up
Rogue
when
2, by the
Yeah.
way.
When
It's called
that
episode
wall
4.
of debris just started like plowing towards them, and they were about to be just consumed
Yeah.
We're like, well,
fire and light. I was.
yeah, they're like, we got the
Yes!
transmission up. It's time to die.
yeah.
The thing I was most excited about everyone dying though is like, great. There's no reason for them to connect any characters back.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
I was just like, the biggest crux of the Star Wars franchise has been like you have to follow a singular family storyline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The episodes,
Like
yeah.
you know,
That worked for me.
that's empty. This is full.
Was the movie as? How does this movie compare to what your expectations were? Like, is it as good? Is it as bad? Was it exactly as not good as you thought, or as good as you thought?
I'll for what it's worth, the fact that I just don't have Han Solo in the universe anymore,
Right.
it makes my life a little more dim.
Yeah.
But this Star Wars movie, I feel like is like they're just going to start franchising these out. It just seems like it's going to become the Pirates. It's another ride at Disneyland now.
Yeah.
While I appreciate the universe and it will always hold a very, very dear place in my heart, I got a feeling this is going to become a big Toys R Us franchise.
It's gonna be a give.
Yeah.
Give
Not that
them
it isn't
what they
already. It
percent
already is, but it's going to be very Mickey Mouse.
just reiterating, repackaging over and over again. Like, you know, it's interesting because it's like they want to give them what they want, but what I personally want is something new in the world. But
and they're giving us good act. They're giving us
Yeah.
good. They're giving us good writing.
Quality.
They're giving us good. They're giving us good arcs. They're giving us good acting. They're giving us great characters. That
We're
are
back
fun
to a lot of
watch.
practical effects.
Yeah, we're back to a lot of very practical effects that are there.
Looks
so
like
much
Star
I
Wars.
fun to
really
watch.
enjoyed
It looks
watching
like it
this
should be.
movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
I felt like I was watching a Star Wars
Right.
movie
Yeah.
and not somebody's crazy machination of what would Star Wars be like if we made it today.
Right.
This was a Star Wars movie.
As far as expectations go, I think across the board, like anyone, like any new Star Wars film will never meet anyone's expectations because like we're all coming at Star Wars from like when we were 6 or 7 and seeing it for the first time. And it was like this larger than life, like magical experience. And no matter what we want, it'll never live up to that. Which really sucks because that was a really cool movie to watch when you were a kid.
Yeah,
I mean, like the
right,
first time you saw
yeah.
Star Wars was a fucking event.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But I wonder if the kids that saw Episode 1 as their first Star Wars movies feel this way.
And you know what? I think they
Potentially.
actually do. I think the 5-year-olds and the 7-year-olds that saw Episode 1 when Episode 1 came out, it might have been Mickey Mouse enough for them to just absolutely love it. It was very of the time. I hated it.
Yeah.
I think anybody that grew up with what we grew up with probably didn't like it all that much. There were a couple of choice moments where we all went, "Ooh, that's kind of like just somebody
Callbacks.
like tickled you just a little bit."
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
But you still walked out very, very disappointed.
Well, it's like
Hurt
in the
and
theater.
left down and
When you saw, like, you know, the opening a long time ago in a galaxy
Yeah.
far, far away, no matter how quiet the theater is, you're always gonna have those people that are just like, whoo, whoo, It's like that excites you. Just like, ugh, I'm seeing it on the theater and it's new.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Lucas hasn't tampered with it.
What do you think separates the excitement level for? Because for me, this was fun to see, but it wasn't like you were saying, like this huge event. Like episode 7 was a huge event because we didn't even think we were going to get an episode 7, and I don't think it's going to be as exciting as episode 8 will be.
Because it's not the characters that they're
No.
still
Yeah.
not the characters that we know, and you know what? We're not going to get to them because they killed them the fuck off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why. So
We're guaranteed
anyway.
Luke. We're guaranteed Chewie.
Yeah. In 8, but not in the next whatever
Right,
this is. We're
yeah.
just going to get a whole other side of that verse.
We
which
know
is fine.
We
Next,
know
as
that
far as
they're
like standalone stuff goes, we get a new Han Solo.
there's a new Han
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Young,
tough.
young Han,
Eldon
the
Aldridge,
the new
is that his name?
adventures
Yep.
of young Han Solo.
Eldon Ehrenreich, Alden
Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich, I think.
Sure.
Han
It's in
Solo.
Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
He's good.
Not Harrison
Good.
Ford.
Not Harrison Ford.
Not Harrison
Well,
Ford.
they killed him.
I know.
Do you think
Still,
Do you think Harrison Ford is gonna appear in episode 8 at all?
No.
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 I think that was the reason he was so eager to be in episode 7 is the fact that like
Just wanted
I,
to be dead.
He was good in that though.
He was
like he's
great.
eating.
I think he was.
he
always
does-
sounds like
he
he's
does
chewing.
a-
He was great. I never expected him to be in so much of the movie,
Yeah, me neither.
and then to get killed off was actually like it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It was a satisfying yet extraordinarily disappointing.
I was
moment.
really
Sad
happy
moment.
with that movie entirely. I mean,
Yeah.
I walked out with my world torn in half, but
Right.
Yeah.
I walked out like ridiculously happy that they brought us back into Star Wars properly.
Yeah.
You know,
It was a tough job to be where.
Oh, yeah, and it
where
didn't need to
JJ
be overly
because he had to
complicated.
have enough of familiarity, and
Mm-hmm.
he had to sort of move the story forward.
without pissing on it and pissing off all of us very, very particular fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he used episode 4 as a blueprint. If you watch, you can.
Yeah,
Well,
it's the
too
same
much.
movie.
Too much.
Yeah.
Here's the
Way
Death Star.
too
Here's
much.
a bigger one.
There's one hole you gotta blow this thing up and everything else blows up too.
I
Yeah.
do like though when Han Solo sees the what's the planet called the new Death Star. The,
Hoth 2.
Why can't I think of it right now? It's Starbase Starkiller Base.
Starkiller or Starbase Killer. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
Starbase Killer. What
Killer
would they
Base Star.
call it? Yeah. Well, like when he just goes, so it's bigger, and it's kind of like a throwaway line, but it's actually.
But it's actually
Yeah.
very, very on the
It's
nose.
like-
Which I liked in this movie that they addressed the fact that like
That it
there's
was, it was purposeful.
yeah it was the fact that there was one kind of obvious but very like overlookable
Design
flaw in the Death Star.
Yeah.
It was like nope, that was 100% the intent the entire
Right.
time.
Very hilarious.
I like
too.
that.
2 days
Yeah.
ago, I saw like a
I did
meme
like
on
that, too.
Facebook that had very something to do with.
I like that the designer, he's like, I built this tiny little thing that they'll never see, but you guys can
Oh,
get
yeah.
in there and destroy this whole thing with one quick shot.
But only if you use the Force.
It was like a cartoon meme against the architect. The architect was just like holding a like, all right, I did it. What do you want me? And then this whole movie is pretty much based on the architect.
You can keep talking. I'm just gonna reset the camera. It's
Where'd
still
it go?
picking up. The camera's still there, so and the audio is particularly still there, so you can continue.
Oh, hi world.
Nate's gonna sing a song in the meantime.
I dreamed a dream of time gone
There's a Wookiee in
by.
here eating everybody.
I wish I had a mask put on before the camera came on.
You put the mask on. Oh,
You wear it. My head's too big for it.
sorry for the. There, we're back, and
They
we're
make
back.
those things bigger.
Can I make what things bigger?
Do these masks come bigger?
Oh, they
No.
don't. I don't know. I think they're just for small children.
That's the
Mike,
thing.
is it
Star
Mike?
Wars has forgotten the fact that like all the kids it appealed to back the last
Yeah.
40 years are now adults, and we want
And
toys
we
of our
have-
fucking own.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
want a Chewbacca mask
What
that
is
fits
this?
my giant adult head.
Why is Chewbacca acting like a velociraptor?
Why are you raptoring?
There you go.
Because the touch thing.
It works. Yeah, you just push that.
Push.
Push the button.
Push the button. Ooh.
This is a G-rated.
That's not even there yet. What are you doing?
Well, you said we could cuss.
I said you could.
It's not G.
There you go.
It's kind of badass. Ooh. It's so rad.
So Krennic, did you like the character? Not like the character? The actor?
Who?
Krennic.
Oh, Diego Luna.
Well, no, Krennic was the bad
villain.
guy.
The villain was
Oh,
yeah,
Ben
cool.
Mendelsohn.
Ben
Mendelsohn.
the villain was very lame.
Yeah.
I felt.
I liked him.
I didn't like him.
I love Ben Mendelsohn. I think he's a great actor. I loved him in season 1 of
Bloodline?
Bloodline, yeah.
Great.
And
Fantastic.
I think he's a fine actor. I just didn't like the character as a villain. Didn't feel villainous to me. I felt like our villain
Yeah.
was not frightening me throughout the movie.
He didn't have a particular like malicious point of view. He just wanted
Right.
to do well at his job.
Yeah,
he
wanted
was
to
just a
get it-
slave of the Empire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He wanted to exceed.
But it turned out he was just
to
Tarkin's
climb the
little
corporate
punk.
empirical ladder.
And it felt that way from the get.
But it turns out
Yeah.
Tarkin's just Vader's little punk.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
but
And
Tarkin
Vader
had
is the Emperor's
Tarkin
little
has
punk.
an evilness to him
Yeah.
that even in this, without Peter Cushing actually being there, it still came through
Yeah.
as being very evil.
Mhm.
And I felt this other guy just wasn't evil enough.
I was hoping that he would have some turn because I thought they sort of were gonna telegraph like there was a moment where he had an interaction with I think Jyn Erso. It was probably toward the end where I thought he might have been like helping them out because he had been sort of demoted and cast away by Tarkin.
Nah.
I thought he was gonna have like sort of this change of heart, and he seemed to respect Galen Erso for his genius.
I might have bought the character more if that had happened,
Mm-hmm.
because it felt like he wasn't quite 100% bad guy.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
And for being the main villain in the movie, kind of a letdown.
He needed that Jedi Vader moment
Yeah.
where he like lifts up the true bad guy and throws him over the
Right.
railing.
Or,
Where he,
or
he
Vader
looks
needed
back
to
and forth
step in and
earlier.
actually get rid of him
Yeah.
and take over the movie.
Right. And,
At that-
and then
at that
become,
point.
Yeah, and be like, this is the real bad guy you've been waiting for,
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
Right.
For all, one of
And
the
then
best
I would have
bad
been
guys
giddy
ever.
for more than the last 5 minutes. I'd have been giddy for the last
I
25
swear to God,
minutes.
those last 5 minutes were
Oh.
fucking sad.
I mean, when he was just all,
Yeah, that was awesome. And he's just tossing people around.
I
and
mean,
trying to shoot
complete
them.
darkness, and you just hear the breathing, and you just see a bunch of dudes just shitting themselves. And all of a sudden, that just lights
Yeah,
the scene.
and you know what's coming, and you kind of don't know what's coming because he just kicks. We've never seen.
you never seen Vader go
do
ape
this.
shit.
Yeah.
You know that's that one episode of Daredevil when it's one continuous take and he just goes down the
Yeah.
hallway and he beats the shit out of like 20 guys.
True.
It's just kind of like that, except it's Vader.
And he does this a lot.
Yeah, a lot of
And then a lot.
tossing. And they're trying to shoot
Like
him,
he's
and he's just
decorating.
like
Yeah.
You
knocking
can't
the
shoot me.
blasters away like it's nothing.
It's kind of
You could have put like a nice classical piece to that.
So as much as I love that, do you think that's just sort of a cheap move? Because Vader is just such a badass, like classic. He's one of the best cinematic villains of all time. Do you think they're just like, all right, here's some Vader?
Of course.
Because we can do that.
Of course.
And it worked for me.
Yeah, I bought it. Hook, line, and sinker.
We
Yeah.
all wanted to see that, and we
Yeah.
got to see it.
Yeah.
And we would have wanted to see more.
Yep.
But is that is that enough? Does
No.
that redeem? It wasn't a bad. It wasn't a bad movie though.
No, it wasn't
No,
a bad
it
movie.
wasn't
It was,
bad.
it was
No,
a
it
lot
wasn't
of fun.
terrible.
Yeah.
It was not a terrible movie, but it wasn't a great movie either, and it wasn't a completely satisfying.
Well, I think
Star Wars
again that
movie.
goes back to the
Fair
fact
enough.
that like,
I agree with that.
will any Star Wars film that we see be a satisfying
Maybe
Star
never.
Wars film? Because
No.
we always hold the originals so high on a pedestal.
Maybe not.
No, they won't be.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
I
I'll
think
have to see something new.
the invention of the filmmaking isn't new. I
Right.
mean, we have the world at our fingertips now when it comes to filmmaking. We
I
can
thought-
do anything.
I thought this movie
Exactly.
did a whole lot right in terms of the feel
Yeah.
of the movie.
Being loyal to the idea of Star Wars, to the idea of the franchise.
100%. I think what it failed in, maybe, is that the story just wasn't compelling.
Mhm.
It was 2 hours of we knew exactly where it was starting
Yeah.
and exactly where it was ending, and there really wasn't anything in between very interesting.
Right.
I agree with that assessment. I think throughout the movie I was sort of just watching it and taking it in, but I wasn't really sort of moved to excitement of like wanting to cheer or emotionally moved. I think I had another point in
Keep
there.
leaning.
We're gonna sit up.
How you doing?
You should keep going in further.
I'm gonna
It's gonna keep
It's
going
gonna be a
back.
Coming
12-hour
closer to this
review.
mic.
I don't know why the face tracker's on, but it is. As far as
Track me.
Track this.
track that, it just seems to like
I
your
don't know
face.
why.
There, it just goes.
And whoever's watching this is probably wondering what we're doing because I'm pointing at something that they can't see.
Right.
And whatever's happening now isn't happening there.
No,
Yeah.
watch this
It's
one.
what's
This is the
happening
one that's
now.
actually happening.
No, what's
way
happening now is
behind.
happening now.
The lag?
We're
When
now
will
now.
then be now?
Soon.
I'm
We're
still
now.
pointing.
What happened to them?
The
What happened?
search
When?
for
Just
more
now.
money. Which I think we're seeing the Spaceball sequel in all the new Star Wars films.
Yeah,
The-
pretty much.
The search for
Yeah,
more
the
money.
Search for
I mean,
more money.
It is.
and it's the same thing that Marvel's doing, or not Marvel, Disney's doing with Marvel, as far as like, I feel that, like, I've been extremely burnt out on superhero movies
It's
the last
same
couple years.
brush now.
It's like 2 or 3 superhero movies a year. It's all playing it safe. You know that they've lined up like 4, 5, and 6 in the next 5 years, so there, no one's gonna die. I feel like that's gonna happen to Star Wars, if it hasn't already.
Well, people they're actually going to kill characters off.
Well, no. Yeah, that's sad.
Not the new ones,
Rest in
but
peace.
the old
Okay,
ones.
but the old ones, yeah.
Continue
But
to
I
get
mean-
killed off. Yes.
But as far as like, we're gonna get oversaturated. We're not gonna care as much when a new movie comes out. It's just gonna be like, oh, it's Star Wars. Star Wars should be like
Yeah.
an event. Like
Yeah.
Right.
your world should stop to
No.
go see a Star Wars film, almost as much as to go see a Jaws revival. But
Anybody?
no, Jaws stopped being good after the first one.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like Jaws 2 Cruise Control.
What about what about Jaws 19 that came out last year?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Directed by
Max Spielberg.
Max Spielberg.
It's very good.
Jaws
Very
30.
good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I think these are just not. I think they're just a bunch of clones. They're going to be a bunch of clone movies.
Yeah,
I
Selling
think-
toys.
Yeah, exactly. I loved watching Iron Man in the theater. I loved being a part of this introduction to this Marvel,
Yeah.
universe. I loved, I wasn't born when the original Star Wars came out, but I sure as shit grew up with them. And I loved being a part of that fan base, from a very early age. I don't think they're gonna have this anymore. I think
Yeah.
I think it's very different. I think they're just gonna keep reinventing stories from our childhood rather than creating new ones for these kids.
Yeah. Getting back to that point is that Star Wars, the cool thing about Star Wars is that George Lucas was actually elevating the medium when he was doing that first one
Yeah.
and the second one and the third one that he did in the original trilogy, because it was like the technology wasn't there for that.
Right.
The special effects weren't there for that. And you were saying it's like everything is at our fingertips now. So what is going to be the thing
So
that
Star Wars doesn't get to
brings it.
do that anymore.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings did it again. I feel when Lord of the Rings showed
I-
up, they
yeah,
elevated
yeah,
it.
Lord of the
yeah,
Rings,
CGI.
yeah,
definitely
Yeah,
did.
they did elevate
They
things.
changed the game
for
a
sure.
whole
And you
lot.
can see that those movies were extremely successful because of that.
Mhm.
And then they tried to do The Hobbit,
Yeah.
and again, same.
And it became
same
the
thing.
new Star Wars. It became
Yeah.
it,
The new
it
Star
literally
Wars.
became the prequels.
Yeah.
It was the prequels.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And they turned one small book into 3 really long
It's not a
movies.
small book.
I
Just
actually-
like Lucas
I actually never saw
one
the third
idea
part
of
it.
how did Vader become Vader and turned it into 3 shitty movies about
Right.
emo Vader as a teenager.
And I only recommend the last 40 minutes of episode 3. Yeah.
Anybody does.
Yeah. It
The
was,
council doesn't listen to me.
Vader's a
Why
cut-
doesn't Padme love me?
I hate sand.
I don't like
Vader's a
sand.
cutter and he uses like a pocket lightsaber.
Right?
Like cut himself. Fucked up. Keep going.
All he does is listen to the
So
Imperial
going to hell
March
for this.
every day.
Yeah. In a trench coat.
And a trench coat.
It's not funny.
That's kind of funny.
Okay, it's funny.
Hysterical.
Yeah. The music, though, getting back to that,
Mhm.
I think, though, it was a little distracting for me. I thought,
Hearing the original themes?
not hearing the original themes, hearing them stray, like Corey was saying earlier,
Okay.
hearing them sort of set you up with a little bit of the theme and then go off into this almost amorphous theme. I think John Williams has the talent of making memorable themes, and Michael Giacchino, I think, is on his way. I think he's pretty good. I just don't, and it might have been a time constraint.
I think it's time constraint. I think
might
a
have
lot
been-
of it is just the fact that that's a big order, having
It is.
Star
Yeah,
Wars
it
dumped
is.
into your lap,
Yeah, it is.
where
Fair
there's
enough.
been one person who's the most iconic film composer ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just like-
and he's done 7 of them, and now you're supposed to do this other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like if just with
Make
a
it
few
sound
weeks-
similar, but not too similar.
And you can take some of his stuff, but don't take too much. of it,
Yeah.
right?
Don't take too much.
We've licensed like 4 bars of each theme.
But I think that comes through. I think it's like you've got the superior composer, and and these superior compositions, and then going like sort of segueing into Michael Giacchino, like which he's great. He's a good composer. He's just how many John
But
Williams
there's
do
no
we have?
memorable theme to walk away from this movie with.
Exactly. That's how I felt about this.
But
And
what
even,
was-
even episode 7 has some really nice memorable
Ray's
themes.
theme?
Ray's theme is fantastic.
Was there anything in the prequels worth? Yeah, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
Duel of the Fates.
Music
was very
wise,
cool.
Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
Battle of the Heroes was a great composition for the 3rd film.
Yeah.
We should just forget the 2nd film altogether.
Yeah, the second one, I will argue that that's the worst Star Wars prequel. That's the worst Star Wars movie, live action movie of all
I
time.
agree.
It's
Episode 1's really bad, but there's redeemable points.
There's
You
definitely
do have Duel of the Fates. You have Darth Maul, who's a really cool character they
Yeah.
killed off way too soon.
yeah. You've got the 3-way lightsaber duel at the end with
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, and
And
Darth Maul.
Cool.
I'm a sucker for Qui-Gon Jinn. Like, I love that character.
He was good.
I really love that character a whole lot.
Yeah,
I think the biggest.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, for sure.
Liam Neeson's. What's up, Liam Neeson?
I have a particular set of skills.
One of those skills is Jedi training, lightsaber battles. And I think that one of the biggest letdowns of the prequels is the fact that like you didn't have Qui-Gon coming back in that Obi-Wan capacity.
Yeah.
As far as like being like, I'm a hologram, but I'm really just a spirit trying to guide you. I'm your own subconscious.
Yeah, exactly.
Use the Force, Obi-Wan.
I think the reason why people remember episode 1 as being so terrible is because of the letdown. It was the build-up and the letdown.
Yeah.
There's such a huge
But you know,
I
discrepancy.
mean, how many years?
There's
were there
always a
between?
build-up and a
Jesus.
letdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so we haven't even talked about it yet. Prequels,
Oh.
Jar Jar Binks, original trilogy, C-3PO, and this one we've got
K2SO.
K2.
Yeah.
Altitude.
What did we
favorite
think of
of-
K2?
I was
Hit
cool
and
with
miss.
that too.
Hit and miss for me.
I thought he was a little too sarcastic and like too sentient almost for like a droid at that time. Like it's like 3PO is
Yeah.
like a little sassy, but he still like has to do his protocol. Where like it seemed like K2 could just kind of do whatever the fuck he wanted.
K2 was my sassy gay high school best friend, who was just like very quick with one-liners.
K2.
K2. Yeah, it was just
K2 was K2.
K2 was K2.
Yeah.
It was just like very. I mean, they were just very sassy quips
Yeah.
the whole way through. I didn't mind them. C-3PO was annoying as shit.
Yeah. He did have a cameo.
Which was great.
He had his moment.
R2-D2 and
And R2-D2
C-3PO.
had his moment.
Anytime that we were on Yavin 4 in this film,
Yeah.
I was just happy.
It was
I was
great.
like, yes!
Yeah. That was nice to see.
I thought K2 was a little too much C-3PO.
Yeah.
Ah.
I can see that.
Okay.
I felt
Very similar. Very similar.
Always given the odds, but
Yeah.
but with a little bit of high school.
I
twist.
thought he was
Yeah.
like R2-D2
a little
personified.
bit less
indignant
naive
child.
and a little bit more like, you guys are dumb. This is what's gonna happen
you have
here.
a 30%
Yeah.
chance of surviving. Live with that.
See, like, I felt like K2 was more like a personified R2. Like, if R2 could, like, if you could actually
Yeah.
hear him talk, like, he
he-
kind of sound like this guy. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, you guys are all fucking
That being
idiots.
said-
We're going this way.
He didn't bother me like Jar Jar Binks
Right.
did.
Well, no one
I
can bother
enjoyed
anybody
him
like
for the
Jar Jar.
most part, as I would have enjoyed C-3PO in the exact same
Yeah.
role.
I think I liked him a lot in at a lot of points. I think sometimes though it fell flat. That's basically
It's
it.
forced because they're trying to give you
The
this
comedic outlet.
comedic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they might have crowbarred in a lot more jokes just to sort of lighten the mood because it's very
It's
much
pretty
drama.
dark
Yeah.
film
It's a
as
dark
far as,
movie.
like, you know,
Yeah.
you're pretty
Same
sure
with
going
the-
into it, no one's going to come out of it.
Same
No
with
one
the
does.
original
Spoiler.
trilogy, where C-3PO was for the most part your comedic relief.
Mm-hmm.
No, the entire franchise, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're forgetting about those episodes 1 through 3, where they
And the-
forced him.
and the
into-
Ewoks,
he
we should forget
they
about
that.
forced
Hell,
him into those movies.
Even in 7, he's the comic relief.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no other character or
No other
reason
moments of levity in any
for
of these movies.
for a
Yeah.
comic relief.
So what about the crystals? Because, like, there's a lot of talk in this movie about
Yeah.
crystals as far as, like, powering the lightsabers, powering the Death Star. You didn't like it?
Well, I not that I didn't like it, but it was unnecessary.
What-
They talked about it and it
She
was
had one
there,
around
but
her
it was
neck,
almost like
too.
Which
midi
never came back into play.
Yeah, I was waiting for something because she was holding it. She was
Yeah.
looking at it. They
Yeah.
showed it.
Yeah, and
It was never. It was never a thing.
the blind Jedi. I forget his name.
Last Samurai?
But he. What's his name?
The Last Samurai.
Is that- is
Last
it The Last
Samurai.
Samurai? Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You see him running on the field?
Sure.
on the
Yeah,
beach?
yeah. He just on a horse with Ken Watanabe. That's fucking awesome.
No, that was his partner.
Awesome. I forgot
How'd
my
you
fucking
miss that?
point. Oh no! He just asked for her. He asked for the crystals for at the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's like a little trade, and we never really
No, it
see
didn't
or
pay
hear
off.
from them at all again. I imagine we'll probably hear something about them in a later.
Oh, and another
Star Wars
spin-off.
movie that'll show up in a year,
He
just
did.
like the next.
He did give
iPhone.
us a new sort of force phrase, I guess, which was
I'm with the Force, and the Force is with me.
So
May the
it's-
Force be with you.
Yeah.
Always.
That's like a new sort of incantation, new thing to say. May the Force be with you.
I don't feel like
I
people
mean-
are going to be
and also
saying
with
that.
you.
No.
Yeah. What's that?
I don't feel like people are going to be saying
I don't
that.
think so either.
He did kick
But-
some ass, though.
Yeah. But
It was fun watching him do his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a kind of ninja sort of a way.
yeah.
What does the DIT have to do with anything?
Ah,
Ninja!
nice shout
If
out.
you're watching.
See, shoutouts don't work if you don't understand the context.
You guys don't watch
Really?
Pixel?
Yeah. These guys don't watch Pixel.
Even if they did, you still don't get
I
it.
saw Pixels and I didn't like it.
Oh, Pixels.
I also
another-
watched Pixels.
By
and also
accident.
didn't
Yeah.
like it.
It
On an
wasn't even by
airplane.
accident.
Oh.
That seems like a movie you'd have
Adam
to see by
Sandler.
accident.
No, I put it on purpose because there's nothing else to watch, and I was like, oh, Adam Sandler. Oh.
Ghostbusters with video games, basically, is the concept, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was like Fantastic Beasts was Ghostbusters with Fantastic
With
Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
All right.
But so what else did we not mention?
We didn't talk. We mentioned acting briefly, but
Yeah.
we left it at Felicity Jones did great. Ben Mendelsohn
Yeah.
was fun. CGI characters were interesting. What about some of the other Jedi?
Some of the other. Well, there were no Jedi.
Yeah,
Jedi.
No,
No,
there
there
were no
weren't any
Jedi.
Jedi.
There were no
Yeah.
official Jedi.
There
Yeah.
really
This was
were
the
no
first.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Unless you consider
Diego Luna had his kind of like CIA character.
unless you consider the Asian guy a Jedi.
Yeah,
No,
and
I think he's
that's
like a
pretty much
Jedi
where
kind
Force-
of wannabe.
The Force be with me.
Jedi
I
But
be
like
with the
wannabe.
Force. And he
Jedi
had
Watanabe.
and he had a sword
I thought
that
it was
It was
gonna
a bow staff. It was a bow
seemed
staff.
to have a
Metal.
lightsaber handle.
But he didn't
Yeah.
have a crystal. That's why he wanted her crystal. He wanted to make it like a legit lightsaber instead of just having like a,
Right.
a lightsaber handle
Like-
with a stick, like a
Oh man, if
Like
she was
maybe
gonna die
he's-
anyway,
like
she
we
could've
had with-
given him
as
the
kids.
crystal,
Maybe
like,
he-
who's the man?
flashlights
Maybe
with a
he'd
stick
still
in it.
be alive. Maybe he'd still be alive, and
She
none
wasn't
of
so
all these
fucking stingy with her crystals.
entire episode 4 through 6 might have
There we
even
go.
happened if he got that crystal.
Right. That would have been an interesting development, actually, if that crystal came into play with that bow staff he had.
I have a question. So on set, we talked a lot about like the film theory, theory.
Yeah.
As far as like these characters becoming the Knights of Ren,
Yeah.
clearly that does not hold up.
Right.
As far as like what we've seen. from
They're
the
all
film.
dead.
fucking dead.
Dead as dead.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Zed's dead, baby.
Dead. The guy's died.
So yeah, that's not going to hold up in episode 8 at all. But do you think there will be any carryover into episode 8 from this?
No.
I mean,
I don't think there can be.
CGI
No, I
Leia.
don't think there can be.
I
don't
think
there
any
should be.
carryover that there is
Princess Leia's
carried
the
over
only
into
one.
like 4 and 5.
This
Like
this,
the story's dead,
this
Yeah.
was a movie designed to fit immediately before episode
which I
4.
like. I like the fact that
and
there's
that's
no
where it
carryover.
starts and
Yeah,
ends.
that's fine.
yeah.
And
And
they
they're gonna keep
basically
popping
even
this up
said
everywhere.
that. They're like, there's not going to be a sequel. And there's a reason there's not going to be a sequel. It's because the sequel is episode 4.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they asked Gareth Edwards, and he was just like, "Nope, we already
They
made
could
one."
now they could make
40 years ago.
Now they could make a prequel, and then a prequel to the prequel.
Sort of just like pushing down.
Again, going back
rapid-
to what I said, where we see more Darth Vader kicking more ass.
Yeah.
I'd be
I
down
just
for
want to
that.
see him get used to the fucking suit. Is that too much?
Right?
to ask?
As you go from like the King Kong at the end of number 3, he's like, "No, doom,
Right.
doom,"
He's
to
got
like, you know, like
he's loosening
Frank
up a little
Sinatra
bit,
walking out of
breaking
his
him in.
pod.
It's like an old mitt, you know. You gotta break the suit in
Right.
a little bit.
Mhm.
Well,
But
we,
who's he got to fight now?
we saw
Basically,
Yoda.
that's it on.
We saw Yoda as a decrepit old man dying, and then we also then in episode 2 saw Yoda doing like incredible flips and
Which we never
stuff.
should have seen.
Right.
No, exactly.
No.
Do we really want to see that with Vader?
I don't want to see Vader doing flips. I just want to see Vader rising to power.
I still want to be. I still
How
want to
does
see
the
him
Empire
be
come
stiff.
to accept Vader?
There's a stiffness to to Vader that makes his evil that much more impressive.
Right.
He's still apparently living on Lava Planet, and
That's true. Yeah.
I mean,
he hates sand, but he loves lava.
Loves lava.
I lava you. I stole it from Pixar. You know he would say that to Padme if she were still alive. If she didn't die of a broken heart.
I love
That's hilarious. Crawling out of the ditch on Mustafar. I love you.
You're my Naboo.
I love you, Naboo. The Boo. I want to take you back to the Boo, girl.
Oh, more Darth Vader is what we want. Why do you? Yeah, I guess. You know, he's such a fantastic character, but he only shows up about halfway through. That's when he first shows up.
He's like Judi Dench.
Yeah.
In what movie?
Shakespeare in Love.
I actually thought that little bit that we saw of Vader in the middle was all we're gonna get of Vader.
Yeah, me too.
Which just made me even kind of angrier. I'm like, why? Do
You almost gave into the dark side of the Force.
Why do you even tease us with this?
I was like, there's no way we're getting out of this movie without it.
They put him in the. They put him in the trailer.
Yeah.
They can't just put him in the trailer.
Of course they can. Have
tease
you
him-
seen a trailer?
The trailer really gave a lot away for me in this.
You know, it gave a lot away. The crawl in episode 4.
Yeah. In all fairness, like all of the prequels, 1, 2, and 3, is literally just the little thing that Obi-Wan says to Luke Skywalker. He says, "Oh yeah, this is what happened to your dad."
Your dad was a great fighter in the Resistance.
The Clone Wars.
He was my friend.
Yep. And that's all you needed to know.
Right.
That's why we can't have prequels.
No.
Yeah.
Because we know the outcome.
But I feel like
It
you
never
could do,
lives up to our expectations.
I feel like you
can't.
could do like a movie like this as a prequel that I mean, this one does lead directly up to episode 4, but there's ways to do movies that take place before that sort of tangentially relate to the universe. Like, I think the prequels should have all been about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's it.
That'd have been fun.
Yeah, and it should have been. Let's
Disney
speculate.
Channel next season they're doing Obi-Wan in high school.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
really.
No, I'm fucking with you.
Obi-Wan meets up with Tony Stark, and
When someone says they're not kidding and they're kidding, they're just fucking with
we
you.
never know what to think. It's Hollywood.
Zac Efron's doing it.
I can't wait to see Saved by the Bell, the Obi-Wan years.
Yeah.
Saved by the Force.
Saved by the Force. Oh boy. Well, Rogue One, how does it stack up in all of the live-action cinematic?
Ooh.
Star Wars.
Okay.
Star Wars movies?
So, like, individually, what's our ranking?
Not including the Ewok Adventure or the Battle for Endor.
What about the Christmas special?
Christmas special.
You mean the cocaine episode?
You know what?
Or the animated Clone Wars.
And not the animated Clone Wars. Just the live-action Star Wars, the episodes, and this one.
5th.
5th? Okay.
I would also go with 5th.
Yeah?
I'm going to go with
40th.
5th.
You thought about liking Phantom Menace, didn't you?
No.
You think about it?
But you
I thought
almost
about
put
putting it
episode
above
3.
Jedi almost.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I feel
No,
like
go ahead.
the biggest letdown of the entire Star Wars franchise. And they're cute and they're cuddly.
The Ewoks?
The Ewoks, like the fact that the Ewoks helped bring down the Empire, just destroyed me inside.
I have
But
I ain't got no quarrel with no Ewok.
The hobbits helped bring down Mordor, man.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
That's true.
Little guys can accomplish great things.
Ewoks do have Chub Chub.
Yeah, they have that.
Well,
I
Well,
know.
they
we had Chub Chub.
They had Chub
Lucas
Chub.
took away Chub Chub for all of you millennials that aren't us.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Chub Chub was good shit.
see, well, I always like the
Chub Chub on the
Ewoks.
way here.
I got a Chub Chub right now. I don't know what we're talking about.
You're in a room with 4 dudes.
We're talking Star Wars.
a
I'm wearing a
Yub Yub.
Jaws sweater.
Oh,
Yub
that's
Yub.
it. It's enough for a Chub
You know
Chub
who wrote the
Yub
lyrics
Yub.
for Yub Yub? John Williams' son. John Williams' son wrote the lyrics. You know who?
Michael
John,
Giacchino?
How old was John Williams Jr. when he wrote the lyrics for Chub Chub?
Johnny J.
not old enough to speak apparently, but he's also the singer for Toto.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait, which one?
mind
I
blown.
think you're lying.
Joseph Williams. I'm not lying.
I did
Yeah,
a fucking
yeah.
like
Music
thing
video.
Well,
with Toto.
he actually joined the
With
band in like
who?
1986.
Toto.
So those,
Toto.
so they-
Chub.
That's prior.
Toto.
Yeah, so
Toto.
they-
That's definitely prior.
Something.
Yeah.
The Toto.
That's where the band name came from,
Yeah.
I guess. Toto, yub, chub.
Chub.
Chub,
Yub
chub,
Yub.
yub.
I think it's Yub Yub. Actually.
Yub.
But
Yub.
I ain't got no quarrel with no
It's
Ewok.
Toto,
I,
yub.
I think it was
Yub.
it was more of a sort of this metaphor for like the Vietnam War or like guerrilla warfare, and they're
Bear
obviously-
warfare.
Yeah, teddy bear warfare.
I got Teddy Ruxpin warfare. I got a bone to pick, or bone
Bone
to
to
pick.
pick?
I got a bone to pick, guys. I got a bone to pick with stormtroopers. What the fuck is the point of their armor? They're the most weakest guys
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
galaxy.
that's
They
pretty
can get
weak armor.
knocked out with a stick.
Or they can just get shot.
Wooden stick today.
Like if I'm wearing armor, I want that shit to deflect the laser blast.
Right. If not, why am I so hot all the time?
Yeah.
Because I heat up pretty quickly. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in that theater, I took off my shoes, my socks,
I did
my
notice.
jacket, and my
But
hat.
I knew by the end of it, I was just like, why are they running the air conditioner? My God.
It was
Dying
warm
in
in there.
there.
There were a lot of bodies in that theater. It was packed.
I've noticed at late movie screenings that
Yeah.
I think the theater is programmed
To just be
for the air to stop running at like 10 p.m.
bastards.
So when you see a late movie, there's no air
Oh, I bet.
ever.
Just
I remember,
recycled
like,
air.
That would have been cool during Deepwater Horizon.
I remember going to Inception at like it was a midnight movie and it's like a 3-hour movie,
Yeah.
and by like 2:30 I was like
Sweating.
just dripping sweat everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, it's so fucking hot in here. I've got to come back and see this movie sometime when I can enjoy it.
Took the hell of a show
That's-
for Ice Age.
See, they incepted you.
They did.
They incepted you. They were like, you need to buy another ticket. And you were like, this is a great idea I have.
Yeah.
I'm going to see this movie again.
It worked. I went back during the afternoon when the air was on.
I was just looking at the thing.
Oh, the thing?
No, the thing over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at all the things.
Hi, thanks. Hi, thanks.
So if you were to rank all of the Star Wars movies,
Oh,
see,
shit.
I would definitely have to say fifth.
Okay.
7 was good. 7,
I like
so it would
7 a whole
be
lot.
for me. It's Empire,
Empire.
Yeah. New Hope.
then New Hope, then Jedi,
Jedi.
then
Force Awakens.
Rogue One,
3.
Yep, 3, 1,
1,
2.
2.
I think I might put Force Awakens over Jedi.
Force Awakens over Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
Force-
Nate was there too.
So you've swapped your 3.
But
I was
with
really
you.
close,
I've
but
swapped 3 and 4, and I've given 5.
I was close to
to
swapping
Rogue
Jedi
One.
and Rogue One, though.
I've only seen 3 once,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen all of the original 3 plus the prequels more than once.
It's more times
Except-
than you should see the
Except for
prequels
3, except
Okay.
for 7, obviously, except
Okay.
for this one that just came out 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that's going to watch New Hope tomorrow?
I'll probably watch it.
I'll probably watch.
I think
but
I'm
not
too busy
tomorrow.
to watch it tomorrow.
Okay.
Mr. Downtown.
Okay,
Mr.
let's talk.
Downtown.
Can we talk about hope for a minute?
Little short
Yeah.
in there.
I
Oh,
think
at the
that-
end with the
No, not at the end. I liked it at the end, but they way overdid it before the end.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like every 2 seconds they're all like, because we need hope, because it gives us hope,
right.
because we're gonna have hope. All right, I get it. It's a new
So-
hope.
The Hope Diamond.
So by the time Princess Leia came up and she was all like,
It gives us
What did
hope.
What did he give you? He gave me hope.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like that would have been kick ass had you not like beat me over the head with hope like 6 times before that.
Felt like 2008 all over
I
again.
do have to say, though, I'm very happy.
Sorry. Keep
What are
going.
you doing?
I gotta turn the camera back.
Oh.
It's still going.
Audio only, guys.
Audio only.
Audio.
Just like in the days of radio.
It's been too long. Nobody's gonna watch this long. Anyway.
Try Wrigley's gum. It's good for you. And you die. Oh.
They love this stuff.
All right.
Where's I going with
And we're back.
We're just looking at this empty seat over here.
What happened to Aristotle?
I'm over here, guys.
Oh.
Surprise.
How'd you get there?
Devil magic.
I used the Force. The Force is with me.
The Force Awakened?
And I it
The Force is
awakened.
with you and you were with the Force.
And I was with the Force. I was
Very
very
young.
young.
Something.
Something.
Dark
Dark
side.
side. Something. Completion.
Never gets old. Never
Nope.
gets old.
Nerp.
So I think we covered it. I mean, Rogue One.
Why Rogue One?
Why Rogue One?
Why Rogue One?
Because there can't be a Rogue 2.
Yeah.
No, just because like they.
Why don't you just call it Rogue?
One because
Just gonna call it Rogue.
It's just a thing we came up with on the spot while we were on the ship trying to leave.
On
It's
Yavin,
just a throwaway.
we came up with it not trying to sneak into an Imperial base, but trying to sneak out of an Alliance base.
Yeah.
We're going rogue because you told me I couldn't go.
We're going rogue. Wasn't rogue something or another?
It's a
part-
rebellion.
One of
I
the
rebel.
one of the groups of X-wings.
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They did have, I think, a character from like Red Leader or whomever. They like
Everything
Yeah.
he interrupted.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
notice that?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's Red Leader.
Yeah,
Gold leader,
and he
blue
did
leader,
like the
everybody.
thing where his head's like this, and he's like blah 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 blah, and his face was sort of.
Was it
like,
the original actor in that X-wing?
It can't be.
It can't be, but it looked so much like.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
that
have to
dude did
research
not look
it.
young.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
have
to be
research
fair though, when it comes to like old people looking young, Mon Mothma.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. She looks exactly like the actress who played her in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And she is, in fact, the actress who played her in Episode 3, but her scene was cut. So 10 years ago
Oh,
or so.
it's a different actress?
It's the same actress.
I was gonna say like, damn, that CG
Yeah.
looked good.
Right. It's the same actress. She played Mon Mothma in Episode 3,
I think there
and
was,
her scene was cut.
and I think there was an old guy.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
next to her. That's like also from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Or it was a good CGI remake of that guy.
What do you think about the Admiral Akbar type?
I didn't like it.
The calamari.
Because
demon
he was
lawyer?
also an admiral. I was
And
like,
he
why
wasn't-
would
and
that-
he
why
wasn't
everybody
red.
that looks like that's the admiral.
He wasn't going, that's a trap!
It is a trap. That's all I kept thinking was that it was going to be a trap.
Yeah, yeah.
How could you think anything else?
He can't be there and it not be a trap.
There was a moment though. Someone said it's a trap during the
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was one thing that I did take issue with all of these callbacks to all these actors from the previous Star Wars movies. Where was David Prowse?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Well, he's got a personal thing with George Lucas, and I think George Lucas might have written something into his contract with
He
Disney.
didn't even know this movie was being made.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, or last whatever gossip column that I sort of watched online. I watch gossip columns
Yeah.
online. I guess that's a
I did.
but I mean,
subscribe?
I subscribe to them.
Yeah.
But the last thing I read was that he was not asked to be a part of this movie. His agent didn't even get word that this movie was being made. He was more than available to just show up.
I imagine.
And walk around as Darth Vader.
I imagine he's quite old, and
Yeah, well,
maybe
yeah.
he's not able to walk as
kick ass.
stiffly
As
as he did
briskly.
last time.
Yeah,
I also noticed that there were
Yeah.
2 actors that played Darth
I saw
Vader,
that too.
not
I didn't notice
not
that.
including the voice
Earl
actor
Jones.
himself.
Right.
The great James Earl Jones.
It was nice to hear him back.
Yeah.
And I was
Joffrey
actually not.
Joffer.
I was actually not sure watching the movie if it was actually James Earl Jones or just somebody's.
CGI voice.
I knew it
CGI
was
voice
because
of
he's
James
still
Earl
alive.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but does that really mean that they paid him to do it?
Yes.
They're like, you know what? We want
the
you to
thing.
do this, James Earl Jones. He's all like, fuck you.
They're
He's
back
like, all right,
to,
we'll give you $6 billion to do it. Oh,
He's an actor.
Disney's
He's
back
gonna
to
take
like
some
spending
money.
all this money on like practical locations and practical effects, which I pray to God they carry over into like the next Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
They own that, don't they?
I
Yep.
know.
And they're gonna make one with Harrison Ford, and he's gonna be about 80 when he does it. or
I'm okay
something.
with that. I can live with that. It's like
As long as he's fighting
after that
Nazis.
one was
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
let's take the young Indiana Jones adventures and make them all into new films with a new actor.
Yeah.
Probably the same guy that's gonna play Han Solo.
Chris Pratt or someone like that.
That'd be fun.
That would be.
Almost be okay
Who
with
would
that.
be your your
Who's our new
fantasy
Indiana
casting?
Jones? Man, it's like asking me who I want my next dad to
Would
be.
you say
Right? It's just like no, like
You can't ask me
Alden-
who my next
Alden
Indiana
somebody
Jones
or
is.
he's already playing Han Solo. Why not give him all the other Harrison Ford
That's
parts?
true.
Yeah, no. I'm refusing to. I'll let somebody else recast Indiana Jones. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I'll go full ISIS and just like She's like,
What is full ISIS? Jesus.
start like bombing this set and be like, no, only one. There can only be one.
you-
I'll go full Highlander.
Highlander.
That's much more appropriate.
Cut off people's fucking heads.
So Christopher Lambert is
only
going
one.
to
It's kind of the same, I guess.
I hear
Very
he's
good.
also available.
He's very available.
So is Sean Connery. That's crazy.
After the quickening, seriously. Highlander 2 jokes? No? Too soon?
Love it.
Okay.
I didn't see the Highlander
Sean
2.
Connery
The only
would have
Highlander I
come
didn't
back
see.
to play Indy's dad.
They retconned.
But he retired. And so they didn't bring him back for the fourth one.
yeah.
So you get like that weird line of like, oh, it's
I
been
know-
a tough year.
I don't
There
know.
was, he
First
was gonna come
Dad,
back for Skyfall
then
for
Marcus.
most-
Are we sure the
rewrote his
fourth?
part
Are we
for
sure the
John
fourth one
Hurt.
didn't
The ish-
happen before the third one?
We've derailed.
The issue with the Skyfall thing though is that, and because like they had written like the Albert Finney
Yeah.
character to be played by Sean Connery,
Connery.
but I always knew as soon as I heard that theory, I was like, Sean Connery will never come back to not play James Bond. Like,
He's not coming back,
would you
period.
come back to
He's
play
not coming
James
back.
Bond's Alfred?
I don't think Sean Connery gives a fuck anymore.
Sean Connery he's done. He's out of the game.
about
He's out the
Christian
Christian
game.
Bale's going to
But
be
yeah,
in the
you
Ben
know.
Affleck movie as Alfred.
That'd be awesome.
So out of
Star Wars!
on a scale of 1 to 10, and this is going to be our official rating.
Alright.
What do you give Rogue One, a Star Wars story? We'll start with you.
I'm gonna
Poulos.
give Rogue One a Star Wars story. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I was not extremely overwhelmingly elated walking out of the theater. I was not extremely disappointed, but I left very happy with a good installment of a Star Wars movie.
Okay.
I'll give it a 6.
Wow.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
And why would you? What are your deductions?
What aren't
too
my
many too many callbacks. Not a strong enough story overall.
Yeah.
So you're saying the issues with The Force Awakens?
Probably so. Yes.
Okay.
Force Awakens though had so much, so much adventure, so
I,
much fun.
I,
so
I
much
might. I
levity.
would give Force Awakens maybe a 7 or maybe close to an 8. I might be between a 6 and a 7 on this one. I'm probably between a 7 and an 8 on Force Awakens. The biggest knock on Force Awakens is that it's such a rehash of number 4, but it had some really good moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Han Solo thing I actually thought was like probably the coolest thing about the movie was that he was a
Back.
big part
He
of
was
it.
back in
He
the
was a
film.
big part of it,
Instant 7.
and he got killed. It was awesome.
8.
And
This
then-
one just didn't have
and
the
then we go
whole
up from
thing
there.
for me. It had a great ending.
Yeah.
I was
Death
so
Star mouse pad.
I was so
I
giddy.
have 2.
I smiled and I was giddy. I was like, oh my god.
I loved the end.
The last 10 minutes of this movie made me smile.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's enough to give it more than a 6.
Okay.
I gotta go with an 8 as well. I deduct points for seeing too much Princess Leia at the end. I deduct points for it just, it's just like I felt like it was a great callback. I loved it all so much, but it's still, and I feel like it's gonna be this way with any Star Wars movie. It's still just not. It will never live up to the expectation of what a Star Wars movie should be.
Okay.
But yeah, I felt there was a few callbacks. But I love the fact that it was like a legitimate war movie. It didn't have to do with Jedis. It didn't have to do with Skywalkers. Like it was a war movie, and I like that.
It wasn't a Skywalker family story. It wasn't their soap opera. For
Right.
the first time ever, this wasn't about the Skywalkers. Because it's always about the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of the battle was just happening. We had these characters doing stuff that had nothing to do with this other melee.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just cut away to melee. And then back to our characters that really weren't doing a whole lot of anything.
Right.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Sure.
When we watch any war movie, just devil's advocate, when we watch any war movie, is it about the relationships between the characters or about the backdrop of the war that it's set against?
No, it's the characters.
Yeah.
But those characters are usually in the war. And
Saving Private Ryan.
And I felt like our characters in this movie were not
removed.
actually
Saving
part
Private
of that
Urso.
war. That the war was happening
Saving
out
Private
there,
Urso.
and they were in here.
We can redo.
Yeah. All right.
We can redo that.
Whereas even like you say, any of the other Star Wars movies, like like Lando is flying the Millennium Falcon into the Death Star. He's part of the war.
They're fighting.
Redeeming himself.
They're not just watching the
turning
war
over.
from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see your point.
That's true. Well, I give this movie a 7.8.
Ooh, we can do points?
Well,
Well, I would have given it a 6.5.
6.5 then?
Whoa.
I said I was between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely between like a 7.5 and an 8. I just think it really kicked in about halfway through for me. I think a lot of the first part, I was just sort of watching it sort of just washed over me. And then I was like, all right, okay, I can get into this. During the battle scenes, I actually thought they were pretty cool. It was an interesting relationship between the blind ninja guy. What was he?
Last Samurai?
Yeah, the Last Samurai guy.
Ken Watanabe.
And
Jedi Watanabe?
And, Jedi
Watanabe.
And Tom Cruise.
and the
And Tom Cruise.
I think that dynamic could have
Dead
been
Tony Goldwyn.
that dynamic could have been a little bit more. Metro Goldwyn.
Tony Goldwyn. Scandal fans. What's up?
Well,
From Ghost?
Yeah. He's in
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
Samurai.
When he was dead?
Is he?
In Ghost?
Yeah.
When they took him away, they're
They
like,
took him away and then they transported him back to wherever the Last Samurai happened.
80s
Two in
William
the fucking
Forsythe?
morning, for
Japan?
Christ's sakes.
Wherever the Last Samurai happened, I'm
Imperial
guessing Japan.
Japan?
Feudal Japan.
Feudal.
Like Ninja Turtles 3.
Very feudal.
Arisa, you were making a point, weren't you?
Well, I was just talking about the relationship between the dude with the rocket pack and
Yeah.
the stick, the stick guy.
That rocket pack was kind of sick.
It was pretty cool. He was kicking ass. I think they could have explored that a little bit more, made that a little bit more of a contrasting. I was starting to like that dynamic, and then they died.
It was over. They died. Everyone dies.
Everyone
Spoiler
dies.
alert. Again, they died.
except Darth Vader.
Except
And
for
Leia.
Darth Vader lives. Leia lives.
Jimmy Smits, still all right.
I like the Jimmy Smith spark.
Maybe dead.
Maybe.
He went.
He went to Alderaan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
He has to go to Alderaan
He
and
goes to
die
Yeah.
off screen.
He
in
dies for
episode
Alderaan
4.
reasons.
He's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm going to
Shut
Alderaan."
the fuck up.
I couldn't resist, mate.
Oh, that was good.
I missed it.
He said he died for Alderaan reasons.
Oh my god, I missed that. That's amazing. We can relive it twice now. It's amazing. Well, he did. He said, "I gotta go to Alderaan because that's a safe place. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go hide out."
Man.
I did like his part in the movie. He was the one carryover from the prequels,
Yes.
and it was fine.
He's the only one, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Besides C-3PO and R2-D2,
Yeah.
but that doesn't really count.
Hey.
Yeah. The original character.
I
from the
love that
prequels.
everybody was like, okay, who are we
Vader.
gonna bring over? Who
Vader
are we gonna
carried
bring
over
Who are we gonna
from the
bring over?
prequels.
We're
He
gonna
did.
bring over. We can bring over
Bring
Jimmy
over-
Smits. People
We're
like
gonna
Jimmy
go
Smits.
Vader.
You like Jimmy
and
Smits?
Lando.
He's hot after
Jimmy-
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
good.
And he just did the
NYPD
Get
Blue.
Down on Netflix. People are gonna like Jimmy Smits right now. He's gonna be really hot.
Yeah, Jimmy Smith, he's good.
See him get down?
Yeah, he's fucking great. To Get
Tell
Down.
him to start growing.
great.
Tell him to start growing his goatee.
Jimmy, start growing your goatee. Come on.
Jimmy, you're the best. I like Jimmy Smits.
Well, there you have it, folks. This has been the review, the epic review, the over an hour and 12-minute review of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story with Pulos,
Yeah.
with Corn Doggy, and with Nate Doggy, and myself, Aristotle
Doggy
Full
Doggy.
Throttle. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you want to be cool. And cheers. Go see Star Wars. Go see Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
See ya.
Yeah.
If you feel like being somewhat entertained. Good night, everybody.